Hello, my favorite humans. Welcome to day 2 of Cooking with Campbell. Today we are going to make shrimp tacos because let's see, 2 weeks ago my mom came over and she brought me some groceries and she bought me this really awesome bag of shrimp that we kept in the freezer. And because we are on quarantine, we are shopping and cooking. We are shopping very, very little and only buying what we need. And so we're trying to invent things. So I have a whole bunch of frozen shrimp. I have a leftover cabbage that I bought to make corned beef and cabbage for St. Patrick's Day, and I bought mangoes because I have a professor named Dr. Kern that I had in college who used to say that mangoes are just sunshine in a bowl that you can eat. And I think we could all use a little sunshine, so I bought mangoes the other day. So I'm going to make shrimp tacos with mango salsa, basically only using the random ingredients in my fridge. We'll see how that goes. All right. Let's see. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to defrost our shrimp. And the best way to do that is to run it under hot water. When you defrost something, you want to make sure that you have it in a bowl like this and you fill it with hot water. Do not put the thing you're defrosting directly in the sink because the sink usually has germs and you can get sick. So you wait for the water to get hot and then you can put the frozen shrimp inside and you let it drain a little bit until it's nice and hot. But you don't want to waste water, so you just let it sit for a couple minutes. And the lucky thing with shrimp is that it takes a very, very short amount of time to defrost shrimp. It probably only takes about 5 minutes until they're nice and soft. So we're going to give those another minute. While the shrimp is defrosting, you want to get the rest of your ingredients ready. So we have our cabbage that I used for corned beef and cabbage that we're going to make into a slaw. And then I also have a whole bunch of tortillas that my roommate David's mom gave us. So we're going to also use those to make the tacos. I'm going to show you how to chop the cabbage. All right. So we've got our cabbage. And we have our knives. A few things about knives. First, you never ever want to cut towards yourself for any reason. You want to always make sure that you have a firm grip on the handle with your thumb on the top. And you want to make sure that it's a sharp knife. Dull knives are actually more dangerous than sharp knives. For cutting a cabbage, the first thing you want to do is you kind of cut a V shape towards the end to get the stem out. Okay, so you have the stem. And I washed this cabbage already by separating some of the leaves on the top, so it is already pre-washed. Then you cut it in half. And this is sort of the same technique that you use to do an onion as well. And you cut it by just kind of slicing some bits down the side. There we go. Now I think because it's a coleslaw, I actually want to try and get it a lot smaller. Note that I'm holding it firmly with the fingers, but I'm always very aware of where my blade is. You want to make sure that you get nowhere near your fingers. There you go. See, I almost got my finger there. There we go. And it should be nice and shreddy. Okay, so you want to separate it, make sure that it's shreddy. And then we're going to put it in a bowl so that it looks like slaw. I kind of think that I need to chop it a little bit more, so I'm going to chop it up. All right, there we go. Now it's nice and shreddy. We cut it in a lot smaller pieces and a lot thinner. Much better for coleslaw. All right, next, because it is a little bit of a sweet relish, something that I love in sweet relish is actually carrots. So we're going to grate, theoretically, let's see. We're gonna grate the carrots. Come on, carrots. You can do it. There we go. All right, 4 hours later, we finally have enough carrots. And I'm not gonna waste a single one on this other bowl, but I did realize that we needed a much bigger bowl. So here we go. Here is the basis for our slaw. Now, when you make a coleslaw, theoretically, as I have never actually made a coleslaw before, you need your cabbage and your carrots. Then you actually need some sort of acidic something. So we're gonna use lemons that we got off of the tree at our apartment. So we're going to squeeze our lemon into there with this handy dandy lemon squeezer. Delicious. You need some citrus or something kind of acidic. This could be a vinegar, it could be a lemon, it could be a lime. I'm choosing lemon at the moment. Then you need to have a little bit of an oil. I'm going to go with some mayonnaise. So probably only a spoonful. Again, I've never made coleslaw before, so we'll see how that works. So here's a glob. Let's do 2 globs of mayonnaise. Kind of stir it up. When you are inventing something for the first time, you want to make sure that you kind of taste as you go. And if it tastes good, awesome. And if it doesn't, you're going to have to kind of think on your feet and improv something. I know that you guys know that I am terrified of improv usually, but improv in the kitchen is some of my favorite thing. That looks about the right consistency. Everything is kind of coated in something. We've got our lemon. So now I'm going to taste it. Let's see here. All right, here we go. We're going to taste the coleslaw and see what else it needs. That's tasty. Okay, so we know that it needs salt. So we're going to put in some salt. But the base is pretty good. So there's some salt. Then we're going to do some pepper. Okay. And then we're going to have ours be a little bit of a sweet relish. So it's going to actually have the mango right in it. And I'm going to show you a trick for cutting mangoes. That is really cool. All right, so a very cool trick I learned off the internet from mangoes is that mangoes can be very hard to peel because they've got a cool pit inside that all the meat sticks to. So you want to make sure that you cut it sideways. Don't cut it this way, but you want to cut it kind of sideways like this. And you're going to hit that pit and you just go all the way around with your knife until you're hitting the pit in the center. And then you're going to twist it open. Twist, 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 twist. Okay. Now this part came off the pit. This is the pit here. You can sort of tell because something is hitting something. You can't see it all. Okay. So the way that you get it off of the peel is you take a glass. Make sure you ask your parents' permission before you do this so you don't ruin any glasses. And it needs to be something that has a sharper, thinner edge. So you put the mango right on it and you slide it down the glass and it peels the whole mango for you. Nice and easy. So you don't have to get all sticky because mango is delicious, but it is also a mess. The same goes now for the other side. So you do it right on top of the pit, all the way around it. There we go. Okay. Now you should be able to do it just on the pit itself, taking very little meat away. There we go. Okay, and you see now we have the pit with just this little bit of excess, little bit of excess on the side, which we're just gonna bite off. Ready? Delicious. Okay, so there's the pit, nice and out. And then we have all of this that is nice, delicious meat of the fruit, which we again go just like that. There we go. Move your knife before you do it. And the other side. I love that trick. It makes things far less messy, way more delicious. So we're gonna do it one more. We're gonna want 2 mangoes for our salsa because we made a lot of it. We also made it for experimentation, which I'm going to show you in a second because we're going to try it with a variety of hot sauces. Because theoretically, if I was making a mango salsa for real, I would actually want there to be jalapeno in it. But I did not have any jalapeno. And because we are trying to stay inside as much as possible, you shouldn't be going to the store just for one ingredient. You should only go in once a week at the very most. To get only like the necessities that you need to cook that week. And because I forgot to jalapeno, we are now going to improvise with a variety of hot sauces. So I'm going to talk to you about that and see how we can taste test our way into a new invention, because necessity is the mother of invention. And that just means that we need to figure out a new plan. But I have often found that my best recipe has happened because I was out of something, or I had to think about something differently, or more than likely because I screwed up the original recipe because, unlike what Ashley says, I did not measure properly and now I got myself in trouble. Remember, eat the edges. So I don't waste any of it. So I wouldn't have listened to Ashley and I didn't measure, and so I screwed up my recipe and had to save it. And some of the time, those end up being the best things that I have, because you have to think on the spot and use your intuition and figure out how to fix your recipe. So today, we do not have jalapeno, but we're gonna try it with about 3 or 4 different kinds of hot sauce. All right, there we go. Here's our mango. So once we have our mango, hopefully you can see, there you go. We dump it out. There we go. And we're going to cube it. So you lay it down with as much meat side up as possible. And you cut slice, 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 slice. Then you flip it around. And this is called dicing it. That's when you put it in little cubes. Then to pick it up, you slide, go dump it in your bowl. All right, here we go. So we have our 3 different hot sauces, and I put a tiny bit of the coleslaw in each bowl, and we're gonna taste test it. So we have our sriracha, we're gonna put in some salsa verde, and some green dragon. And then we're going to stir it up. Again, I'm pretty sure that the sriracha is gonna be our best bet. We should probably switch utensils so we don't contaminate. We're all about anti-contamination in quarantine kitchen. Here we go, here's the salsa verde, it's all stirred up. Okay. And green dragon. All right, let's test it. All right, first we're gonna try the green dragon coleslaw mix. Okay, green dragon I usually love with eggs, especially runny eggs. That's really good. Let's see how it is with the mango and the coleslaw. Has a very full flavor and a good kick to it, but it does not blend well with the mango. So we're not gonna go with that one. Okay, next we have salsa verde. See here. Get a little piece of the mango so we get it all blended. Let's see. That one's actually pretty good. It's a very subtle flavor. The liminess of the salsa verde is very nice. And the green chilies actually mix really well. Not only with the jalapeno, but also with the mango. That one's really nice. Try that. All right, and lastly, our sriracha. I'm a huge fan of poke bowls. And poke bowls, my poke bowls that I make are like 90% spicy mayo. So I'm betting that I'm gonna like this one best, but let's see. Get some good mango, coleslaw, here we go. Ooh, you know what? I like this salsa verde better. This one is way too overpowering. All you can taste is sriracha. Now I probably put too much sriracha in. Definitely put too much sriracha in. Yeah, the salsa verde wins. It's a good subtle taste. So there you go. Thank you for joining the test. And that's what you do. You improvise, you test different things, and then try it. So I'm going to add the rest of the salsa verde into the rest of our recipe. All right, so we have our big bowl of salsa, or of coleslaw rather. We've got our bunch of mango chopped so nicely. And now we're going to add, I think, the rest of the jar, actually, of this salsa verde. So salsa verde, mango coleslaw for our shrimp tacos. Perfect. It looks really good. So then we're going to actually leave it in a corner. We would leave it in the refrigerator, but there is no more room in our refrigerator. So we're gonna leave it in a corner to set so that all of the beautiful ingredients blend together beautifully. Okay, next, the shrimp that my mom bought me have little tails on them. So now they are fully defrosted, but we have to detail them. So you hold the base, and you just pull, put it back, pull. All right, for cooking the shrimp, I'm going to use a non-stick skillet. The number one rule for non-stick skillets, I'm going to tell you this right now so that your parents do not get mad at you and so that you can have a future as an adult that is very wise and understanding. You never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, use a metal utensil in a non-stick pan. Ever. Not only does it ruin the pan by scratching it up, it also makes it toxic because it takes the Teflon off. So under no circumstances does a metal utensil ever touch a non-stick pan. So I'm going to use a rubber spatula to mix up my shrimp. Okay, there, I have spoken. All right, you're gonna turn it on. I always have to make sure that my stove is turned on medium, otherwise everything burns. In fact, one time, when Ashley and I were living here, we actually set a pan on fire, and by we, I mean Ashley, because she put it all the way on high, left it for 2 minutes, and then put butter in the pan, and flames shot up. So don't do that. Do not put the pan on high, and as soon as you turn it on, you should put some oil in it. I like using olive oil spray because that helps me control how much I actually put in it. So here we go, shake. You wanna make sure that the pan is fully coated. You're gonna let it heat a little bit because you want the shrimp to sizzle. That's what gives it that brown kind of essence. Okay, I'm gonna say it's ready, even if it doesn't sizzle. You ready? Here we go. Ew, that did not sizzle. That slurped. There was way too much water in that. Hold on, we have to fix that. Again, it wouldn't be cooking with Campbell if we didn't have to fix something. So when you get too much water or when you're cooking hamburger and there's too much oil, very carefully take a paper towel, which I know is in short supply right now, and you kind of dab it out. Now, it would not have been the worst to have left all that water in there. It just could have made it soggy and would have slowed it down a little bit. So I wanted to make sure we kind of soaked some of that water out. This is the same if you're like putting frozen vegetables in a pan. You want to make sure that as they melt that you want to soak up some of the water. I usually find that a paper towel is the easiest way, but if you run out of paper towels, because we're in quarantine, you can also wait until it gets pretty wet, put a lid over the pot, and then just kind of drain it over the sink. That works. But again, the theme of today is messing up and learning how to fix it and innovating. So we have our shrimp. They still have not sizzled, so I'm going to turn it up a little higher. I'm going to add a little more oil since we soaked some of that up. And I'm going to use taco seasoning today because it's the easiest. This is a thing that I got either from Costco or Smart & Final. It's a giant tub of taco seasoning. I put it on lots of things. It makes everything beautiful. So we're going to just sprinkle a healthy dose of taco seasoning all over our shrimp. Okay. And then as it kind of browns in the pan, kind of swoosh it around. There we go. We've got some steam rising. So again, it was really wet, so it's going to take a minute for it to sizzle. So the bottom line is that we should have taken the paper towel and dabbed each individual shrimp to make sure that they were not wet and to make sure that they would cook properly. But I didn't do that. So we're going to just wait. You can see the steam. So that's the water evaporating. Oh, can you hear that? There they go. Oh, see they're bubbling. That's what we want. Soon they will be nice and crisp. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so as the shrimp started to heat, they actually got wetter and wetter and wetter and wetter. So I have now taken them out and we're starting over. So I'm gonna I've dabbed them all off so they're nice and dry. They're still hot, as you can see. I'm gonna add my taco seasoning out here, in here, and hopefully we'll get that sizzle we wanted. Let's see. There we go. Okay, because these are already pre-cooked shrimp, we want them in here for barely a second just to brown. Otherwise, they're gonna get really tough. And the last thing that you want in the whole wide world is tough shrimp. So we're gonna let them just kind of brown on one side. We're gonna flip them over and then they're gonna be done, 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 done. All right, here we go, flipping them over. Would you hand me the tortillas? Please? It's always good to cook with a friend. Thank you. Now on this griddle, I'm going to start heating our tortillas. you just take a flat griddle or a regular pan and you lay the tortillas on top. There you go. So we have our tortillas in one pan and our shrimp in the other. All right, so now we're going to take our tortillas, put them on the plate, and we're going to scoop some shrimp into it. They are good. Let's see here. Oops, there we go. Should be paying attention to what I'm filming. Ta-da. Okay, and then David, we're gonna go over here and we top it with our mango slaw that we made. Which also has salsa verde in it. Tasty. There we go.
Yum.
Yum. And there you have it. Shrimp tacos with mango slaw. All right, and now the best part, the trying it. Here we go. Mango salsa and shrimp taco. That's pretty good. Now, because of the water incident with the shrimp, it probably needs more taco seasoning. So if you don't screw up the water like I did, then you're gonna be totally fine with exactly the amount of taco seasoning you have, but you could always do a smidge more. Other than that, it tastes delicious. Thank you for watching. Happy eating and stay healthy, stay safe. I love you. See you soon. Hi. So earlier I told you a story about Ashley lighting a pan on fire, and I realized that I should probably tell you how to put one of those out. If you are putting out a grease fire or an electrical fire, it's very important that you never, ever, ever put water on it. Never put water on it. Instead, you actually spray baking soda. So the same that you use in cookies. Otherwise, this is, you just sprinkle it all over, douse the whole thing, and then that puts the fire out. So never ever put water on a grease fire or an electric fire. And so you should always have baking soda somewhere handy, close to your stove in case something lights on fire. Anyway, baking soda, save a life.